Hi, I'm Nicole Kruk, and I am going to show you the differences between the Pruvit compensation plan and the Beachbody compensation plan. So I'm a former 3-star diamond coach with Beachbody. I was a premier coach. I qualified for the National Leadership Conference in California and was flown out there. And I was an all-star legend, a Success Club all-star legend. So if you were a Team Beachbody coach, you know what all those things mean, which means I was doing all the things that I was supposed to be doing in order to move my business forward. Like a lot of 2 and 3-star coaches, my star diamond coaches were not my husband and my mom or like my sister or something. Like I actually had working coaches under me, and I actually had 4 lifetime diamonds under me. But 3 were on one side and 1 was on the other leg. So if you remember, the compensation plan is a 2-legged compensation plan. So you had to be equal in order to rank advance. So I was a lifetime 3-star even though I had 4 diamonds under me. So if you know, the compensation plan was like a 2-legged compensation plan where you had coaches or discount coaches on either side. And as the people under you grew their businesses and rank advanced, so did you. So I was on an inside leg on my upline's 2nd business center, which she did not actively put people in or place any coaches or discount coaches. So I did not get a whole lot of help from my upline. The way the compensation plan is set up for Beachbody, you kind of almost have to be either placed in a great spot knowing that you were going to become a coach when you first signed on, or like me, I only signed on as a discount coach and I never had an intention of working the business. So I was placed in a spot that you wouldn't really want a working coach, or you wouldn't think that you wouldn't place somebody who you wanted to help actually build a business. So I was on an inside leg on a 2nd CBC. It was just a place where I didn't get any business. So I really had to build almost all of my own volume just with my team. And I did a really great job with that at first. But as things happen, not everybody comes into this business wanting to run a business at first. So I would sign lots of discount coaches so I could get my volume up. And some of those discount coaches ended up becoming coaches, and they became great coaches. They became my star diamond coaches, but they were on my strong leg. So my strong leg didn't really help my volume that much because my weak leg was such a weak leg. I only had 1 diamond on my weak leg, and she ended up quitting shortly after becoming diamond. So I got those discount coaches on that side, but it just didn't really ever build enough volume for me to really cycle through and make the money like I should have. I studied placement like nobody I know. I know exactly where to place people and how to build volume for the ultimate ratio, a 2-to-1 ratio on my legs. And I did that every month. I did not have a lot of built up volume that was not used every month because I was so good at balancing that volume. But it's difficult when you don't have the people under you in the right spots or under you at all in order to build a business. I was a coach for 3 years, and I finally decided to let my business go because it was just dwindling and my paycheck was like a third or half of what it used to be. And I just couldn't find the excitement in it anymore, and I couldn't encourage other people to join me, knowing that one of my best coaches on my team, who I recruited, worked her butt off. I mean, this girl works every day. She is so consistent. She's so clean with her eating. She gets results. She gets her people results. Like, she's a machine, and she was so great. And her paycheck after being coach for 2.5 years and being a 1-star diamond coach was $35 that week. And I was just like, how can I possibly ask people to join me and do this anymore? I just couldn't do it. So I found ketones, and if you look at my video on why I left Beachbody, I go into it there a little bit more on how I got started with Pruvit. But anyway, so when I decided to join Pruvit, I was like, I'm going to check out the compensation plan, because as much as I love the product and as much as I want to help people, like, it needs to be something that is a little bit more friendly to the promoters in order to earn money, in order for me to want to do it, because I just can't take all the time away from my family and everything again if this isn't going to, you know, be a fruitful, you know, business venture for me. So, let me get into a little bit about the Pruvit compensation plan. It's a very complex compensation plan with kind of lots of moving parts and lots of different ways you get paid and lots of bonuses, but I'll go into the basic, like, first 90 days so you can get an idea of the bonus structure and how you get paid. So it's a unilateral compensation plan, so everybody kind of gets built out, that all of your personally sponsored promoters all kind of go in a line, and then they drop down from there with the people that they sign. So you get level 1 would be my personally sponsored, level 2 would be their personally sponsored, level 3 would be the third one's down personally sponsored. So you can get an idea of how the volume works in levels, and all of that volume flows back up to me. So anybody that I sign under me, anybody they sign under them, anybody they sign under them, all of that volume flows up, and you get paid on everybody's volume. So it's not, you don't have to balance out here and there. It's not like, oh, well, I signed Elizabeth and she's doing fantastic, but she's on my strong leg and I don't have anybody over here, so I'm not getting paid on that. Like, you get paid on all the volume. So let's say you were somebody who, you know, you had 30, 40, 50 SC points every month, and you never signed any working coaches. Like, if you were in Pruvit and the way that you sign clients, you would make all the money, because even your clients go into your unilateral volume, so you get paid all on volume. And it's great, because if you're somebody who is very sales driven and you are a great salesperson and you sell a lot of product, you're going to get paid on the volume from all the product you sell, and it doesn't matter what the people below you do. You can completely rank advance in this business, and you can hit all of the money marks and all of the bonuses purely on your own efforts. Now, there are some bonuses that you get for helping other people meet their goals. So your first goal as a Pruvit promoter in your first 30 days is for you to go pro. Or your first 14 days. So in 14 days, you want to go pro, and that's essentially helping about 10 customers, or maybe a promoter and 5 customers, or maybe 2 promoters, like, depending on how the volume works out. And when you do that, so you will get your commissions on your volume, plus you'll get a $250 bonus in your first 14 days just for hitting Go Pro. Almost all my promoters that have signed have hit Go Pro. It's pretty easy to do, especially if you already have a following. If you were a Beachbody coach before and you have a following on social media, it's going to be pretty easy for you to hit Go Pro. In the next 14 days, so your first 30 days, you want to hit Go MVP. Go MVP really means hitting Go Pro again. So in that next 2 weeks, you just basically hit Go Pro again, and that's it, and you hit your goal, and then you get an additional $500 bonus. So in your first 30 days, you're making your commissions on your sales, plus you're making a $250 bonus for hitting Go Pro and a $500 bonus for hitting Go MVP. Now, in your first 90 days, if you help 5 people go MVP just like you did, which is fairly simple, I think I hit MVP in my first 2 weeks, maybe 17 days. So if you help 5 people do that in your first 90 days and you hit All-Star, then you will get a additional $1,000 bonus, plus the $500 bonus you already made, plus the $250 you already made, plus all of your commissions on your volume. So it's fairly easy in your first 90 days in this business to build a successful business and to make a decent amount of money to make it worth your time and your effort. Plus, you've also built a solid foundation for your business, and you're just going to keep and continue to grow from there. Now, when I was a Beachbody coach, it was very difficult for me to find people who wanted to join me and join me as an active working coach right from the beginning. I felt like people really just weren't all that interested in it because there was such a flood of Beachbody coaches in social media, and you know, you had 5 friends that were Beachbody coaches, and they had friends that were Beachbody coaches, and everybody was selling Shakeology. And it was just kind of a flooded market, and people got tired of seeing it, and they didn't feel as if they could have a successful business. I still believe they could if they were in the right spot and they had the right mentor, but it's very difficult. In my first month as a promoter, I signed, I think, 6 promoters in my first 30 days. So that's pretty incredible that I had people who would try the product and get their sample pack and be like, oh my goodness, I need to sell this stuff. It's amazing. None of my friends have heard of it. I need to get in on this now because it's such a ground floor opportunity. Which was a reason that I joined. You know, I hadn't really heard that much about it before, and I didn't know that much about ketones, and I had never tried them. None of my friends were selling it. None of my friends had tried it. So it was a great selling point to me to join the team, and it has been for me as well. I have lots and lots of, I now have, I think, 9 promoters that I have signed in my first 3.5 months, and they're all doing great things, and they're all rocking out their businesses, and they're all loving it, and it's just such a simple conversation to have. If you were a coach, you understand the conversations that you would have to sell a challenge pack. I mean, I could have conversations that lasted me weeks or months even. And it was not an easy sale, and it did take some convincing. As much as we believed in the product and loved the company and what they stood for, it was a difficult thing to sell. So far in 3.5 months with Pruvit, I have found that these conversations are very simple. You do have to do the work, and you have to, you know, have conversations with people, but once they get the campfire video and they understand what the product does, and they just say, okay, I want to try it, and you sell a sample pack. I had some people who didn't even get sample packs, and they were just like, this stuff sounds amazing. I trust you already. I'm just going to start with a regular order. So, you know, it doesn't have to be hard. And I think that's something that I didn't really get with Beachbody. I think I was kind of always told, like, you know, if you want something, like, you have to really work for it, and to make that sale and to make that connection, like, it's going to be difficult. The conversations with Pruvit are super easy. They're simple. I have so many clients that messaged me and said, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're not doing Beachbody anymore. What's this new thing you're doing? They were people I'd never talked to before, but had followed me on social media. They had never purchased anything from me before, and they came to me saying, I already feel like I have a relationship with you, and I love following you for inspiration. I just wasn't on board with Beachbody and Shakeology as a product, but I'm loving this new thing with ketones. Tell me about it. So it's been really, really simple for me to get conversations going and to get my sample packs out there. So as a promoter, you buy, most people buy a package of 200 samples when they sign up, right? So you take those 200 samples and you break them up into 5 packs or 10 packs, and you sell a sample pack to people so they can try the different flavors, see if they like the product before they sign up and make a large commitment. And usually by day 2 or 3, they're like, this stuff is amazing. How do I place an order? So I sold my first 200 samples, I think, in my first, like, 60 hours, like 3 days. Like, it was crazy. My phone was going nuts. I had so many messages, Pippa, so many things that had never happened to me before with Beachbody. Like, it was crazy. My dog's barking. Pippa, come here. So that was fantastic, and that was so exciting for me because it just kind of squashed the fear I had in starting a new business. I was so scared that it wasn't going to happen, and I was so excited that people believed in me and they believed in the product even though they hadn't tried it yet. And no, I need you to go out. So what are you doing? Rank advancing. So it doesn't really matter what your promoters underneath you do. It's nice if they rank advance, and there are some bonuses that are based on people under you hitting some goals, but you don't have to. If you can build your business solely based on volume, so every rank is purely based on volume. So I hit rank 2 in my first 2 weeks, I think. I'm almost to rank 5 now. It was very close last month, and every month it starts over. So I don't know where I am this month, but last month I ended at rank 4 3-star, and so it goes rank 1, and then rank 1 2-star, 3 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, rank 2. So there's 3 stars in every level, and every level is purely based on team volume, personal volume, team volume. Like that's all it's based on. It doesn't really matter what anyone else's rank is. Your rank is purely based on volume, and I love that. I love that you're just solely in charge of your own destiny, and you can totally build this business on your own. So you totally just get paid for your own efforts. With Beachbody, I was always told, get to 2-star, get to 2-star, get to 2-star, so that you can open your second CBC. Well, I got to 2-star, and I opened my second CBC, and guess what? I still wasn't making any money. My second CBC was like making $14 a week if it got enough volume to even make a cycle. Like, and then I got to 3-star, and then I had a 4th diamond, even though I wasn't technically 4-star. I had 4 diamonds under me, and I was doing all the things they were saying to do, and my paychecks were going down. And then, I mean, I don't care what they want to tell you. You know, network-wide team volume dropped when they started Beachbody On Demand with the annual subscription, because they weren't selling DVDs anymore, and all the coaches and all of your clients weren't buying new products when they came out. So everybody's volume went down, and my paychecks really took a significant hit. And it was just really difficult to stay motivated and stay consistent in that. So what I'm just trying to say is the opportunity is here. The opportunity is definitely here with Pruvit to take that same inspiration that you have to help people get healthy, and to get them motivated to start working out and to eat healthy and to use a product that's going to enhance their efforts. And the opportunity is here to do that, and to do it on your own merit. And not have to feel like you're depending on other people to make your business successful. So there's no busy work. You don't have challenge groups. You're not creating trainings. You're not, doing all of those other steps and other things that we had to do in Beachbody. Pruvit takes care of all of that for you, and they've got these amazing people that come in that train, Fortune 500 corporations, and on sales tactics and things like that, and they come in and they train you, and all of the trainings are there. We have doctors on staff that help us. My team in particular is pretty incredible, because we have some founding promoters on our team, and they're super helpful, and they're available to us for questions all the time. We can add our customers in group chats with them if they have questions that we don't know the answers to. We have a keto expert, a keto coach expert on our team. So if we have any nutrition questions that we're not exactly sure how to answer, he comes on and helps us. So we have so much team effort going into helping our clients and getting them the right answers that you don't have to be the expert right off the bat if you are not that familiar with ketones and ketosis. Like, there's just so much help and value added on our team in particular that it's really phenomenal, and it has been great. And I was really, really careful who I signed up with as my upline and who I chose as my team when I signed on with Pruvit, because I kind of went with my heart when I joined Beachbody, and I maybe didn't pick exactly the right fit for me to grow a business. So this time I decided, I love the product already, and I know that, so I'm going to be smart about who I sign up with, and I'm going to pick somebody who's going to get me to help me reach the goals that I have in my business. And I definitely done that, and I definitely think I picked smart business savvy people to align myself with, and it all just trickles down, and it definitely shows. And everybody is available all the time. Like, our group messages are always going off. We're always helping each other, and it is a really, really great community. So if you'd like a little more information on joining our team, or if you're just interested in just learning a little more and asking me questions, like, there's no strings attached. You can shoot me an email at nicolelovesketones@gmail.com, or you can comment below here, or you can find me on Facebook at Nicole Demarsko Kruk, and I'll drop a link below in the description of this video as well. So hope to see you soon on our team. Thanks.